support from a wide variety of major donors, including the household name Bill O'Reilly and many large corporations and corporate sponsors. CSM McAlister is with us, and he's going to talk a little bit about some of those companies and some of the support that the Independence Fund receives. And I want to do that, but let's go back. So you go into the military, you're dedicated from a military family, you go to Afghanistan severely wounded, not expected to serve again, you make that transition, recover, go back with your unit before you were really completely healed, back to Afghanistan, and then did a second tour, and during that second tour, you came back and were not injured.
Yes, sir. It was actually, well, it was the first two were Iraq.
Iraq, okay.
Yeah, so I came back from the second one, and to tell you the truth, when I deployed the second time to Iraq, I was kind of nervous and scared. Am I still going to have it in me? Am I going to be scared when I get shot at or hear an explosion? But did my job, did everything, came back, and then wound up deploying 3 more times to Afghanistan.
Wow, incredible. Now, people don't talk about this fear, but I had an experience when I was in which I got to Vietnam, and I actually woke up one morning with severe welts all over my body. I mean, my eyes were shut, all over my body. Yeah. Had no idea what it was. They sent me in. And then in a moment, there was a crisis, and wounded Marines and soldiers started coming in. And I saw a Marine who was about 18 years old, just been wounded. I looked in his eyes, and I realized and saw the fear that was in me. And when I grabbed his hand and we looked at each other, literally the welts disappeared. It was fear manifested. And people don't realize that being a hero is not acting as you have no fear. No. It's what you did, which is to act with that fear. And like the other incredible people that serve us. So thank you. But yes, in your story, you then come back, you've served, we're on social media, and we're hearing lots about the idea that as a command sergeant major at your age is pretty incredible achievement. Tell us a little bit about that, the idea of when did you become a command sergeant major?
Well, I was selected to attend the United States Army Sergeant's Major Academy in 2010. I had been in the military for almost under 18 years. I was still at 17, and then I went to the Sergeant's Major Academy, which is about a year-long process. It's actually a 10-month school, but travel before and after it winds up being about a year or so. And in June of 2011, I was promoted to sergeant major after the academy, and then and I did 2 years as a brigade operations sergeant major, and then 2 years as actually 3 years as an operations sergeant major, and then 2 years as a command sergeant major of 2nd Battalion 508th Parachute Infantry Regiment in the 82nd, which is the unit that I got to do all my first sergeant time in. So it was pretty incredible. It was a whirlwind. I never expected to make sergeant major because most enlisted guys don't, because it's only 1% of the enlisted ranks make it.
And they certainly don't do it at 40 years old or 38, 39 years old. Incredible.
I mean, I don't like to say I felt like the old guy, but I guess I made it. In the military, I guess you could say I made it on my first look, they call it. So the first time I was looked at for sergeant major, I made it. So.
Because of the incredible service. Now, let's jump ahead a bit back to the Independence Fund. So now you come out of the military. You had been introduced to the Independence Fund through the injuries of a good friend and fellow soldier. We've got a lot of celebrities. Tell us a little bit about some of the companies and other celebrities that are involved.
Well, right now our biggest partnership is with Florida Georgia Line. They have been teaming with us to present all-terrain wheelchairs with a nice VIP meet and greet with the veteran and their family, intimate backstage, not a big spectacle, something really nice for the veteran. And with that, they post on social media about us, so they're helping us get the word out. Like you talked about Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly has stood by the fund since it started and continues to stand by us.
No, go ahead.
No, I would say there are many organizations that have stepped up to help us out, but the biggest name right now that we're actually working with as Forest Georgia Line, and it's great what they're doing with us, you know.
And there's a couple things I want to clear up. First of all, ever since Vietnam, but particularly now, there's really no such thing as a front line. It's all front lines.
Correct. Like it's when you look at it, yeah, you have infantry guys like me that everybody calls a frontline soldier, but it doesn't. The front line doesn't exist anymore. It's an asymmetric fight, so regardless of where you're at, it's dangerous.
And the other thing is that the Independence Fund is not just associated with severely wounded military folks, but a number across the spectrum. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Injured, ill. There are plenty of, you know, veterans out there that really need help that, you know, I mean, I don't know what it is, but ALS is becoming rampant in the veteran community. I mean, there are veterans.
And ALS.
Yeah,
right.
It's you know, the
muscular disease, right? Lou Gehrig's disease,
yes, sir.
right?
And you know, there's plenty of veterans that have been injured in the line of duty. Like me, the reason I decided to retire from the military is because I basically broke my neck on a jump and didn't know it, and jumped a couple more times and had to get a spinal fusion, and decided to retire. And you know, I've ran into a lot of guys that have been severely injured, you know, in the line of duty. Like we just helped a guy a few weeks ago that was injured in a truck accident. He was in the National Guard, but he was in a military vehicle.
Right. But also there are a lot of injuries that you can't see as
yes,
well,
sir.
right? And then there's the courageous attitude, if you will, that if I ask for help, that means I'm weak, which a soldier, Marine has to fight against too.
Yes, sir. And I will tell you, I would like to say it in this forum because I've talked to a lot of guys that I know. When I decided to retire, I had my wife, my friends, other sergeant majors were like, man, you need to talk to somebody. And I built up the courage to do it. I was afraid. I didn't want to tell anybody. But even me, at that time, I had 23 years in the military, and I needed to talk to someone because there are so many things that we see that the human is not supposed to see. So we have a great wellness program with the Independence Fund.
So Don, tell us more about the wellness program.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you. So I'll talk about all our programs real quick, if that's okay. First and foremost, we're known for our mobility program, which is we provide 6 different types of all-terrain wheelchairs for wounded, severely ill, and injured veterans. They're truly life-changing devices. Like if you've ever seen them, please check out our Facebook, our website, independencefund.org. The chairs, literally, I'm starting to get goose pimples now. They change lives. I mean, that's where our name comes from, is getting the independence back. And it literally gives the veteran an opportunity to get back out and do the things that they could never do. And it's a gap that we feel that the VA does not cover. You know, it's in a lot of medical terms, you know, some people in the VA, they would look at it as a luxury device, not a necessity, when it is a necessity. Our wellness program, we actually are, we have been partnered with the Eisenhower Center in Michigan. We send a couple of veterans a month, all paid for by us through donations into the program. It's a month-long in-treatment program with NFL players and first responders and other people of that nature. They all come together. They all come from like backgrounds, just different money. But it's a great program. It has saved the lives of quite a few vets, 2 of whom were my soldiers that got into the program. And we can't forget about the caregivers. The caregivers are, you know, the veteran is going through all this, but who's going through it with them? The family. So we do a lot of caregiver events, mainly caregiver retreats for some respite, get them out there, let them kind of get away from things and just not have to think about all the stuff that's been going on. But also, these mobility devices actually take a load off of the caregiver's chest, you know, because now that veteran can get out and do some things that, you know, before somebody had to help them do, and now they can do it on their own. So it's amazing.
Amazing. And
Yes,
and tell us, how does our audience get involved? How do folks get involved?
Go to our website. It's independencefund.org. There's a donation tab. You can go on there. You can donate. What we really need is the word out there. You know, you need to let people know what we're doing, because, like I said, a lot of veterans they either don't know where to go for help or they don't know how to ask for help. And the way we have to look at it, at least I do, is they'll never ask for it. And they don't think we owe them anything, but we owe them everything. And everything we can do will, to help them, just it'll make our world just so much better, because they have sacrificed so much. And most of these people, 99% of them, are in this to serve, and they're still in it, and that's why I love our organization, because we're not focused on the global war on terror. It's any veteran. I mean, I know World War II veterans that are still alive, and they're still heroes to me. So it's any veteran, but please check out independencefund.org. Our Facebook is just the Independence Fund, and Independence Fund on Instagram, and you can see the great things we're doing. And please share our posts, check them out, like our page, and just let people know what we're doing. And if you want to donate, please go on our website and donate. Any help is greatly appreciated. And real quick, just so everyone knows, right now we average about 30 mobility devices that we give out a month, and they're anywhere from $16,000 to $18,000 a piece, and they are all paid for through donations by people like you. So any help we can get, we really need it, and we really appreciate it.
Thanks so much for being here. It was a real privilege, and thanks for your service to our country and to the veterans and the Independence Fund. Appreciate it. All right, that's it for the show. I want to thanks to Command Sergeant Major Donald McAlister for his service and for joining me here today. Also want to thank our incredible crew for making this possible, and mostly I want to thank our sponsors who really do make the show possible. Join us on social media. We'll see you soon.